So, good morning, sirs and ma'ams. Please excuse my spread lip gloss, but I have a concept which I want to further its tangent on the issue of before or after formalization. Will other planets bring us conflict involving antagonism towards uh, and those connecting to formalization, as in inserted events due to unexpected events. They are inserted not planning by other people uh, in terms of altercations involving our residents and them on our planet before the completion of formalization, because we've been doing that. And it ties into formalization actually, and it's a front side story that you can kind of put to the side, and the events taking place using the media, because we are superheroes and supervillains on this planet, including military personnel with stories to tell. um, the objective is the completion of formalization ASAP, meaning our efforts to complete formalization involved me contacting the local governments along with those who will represent local governments, state leaders, captains of FPs who will be assigned positions as in every state per our administration, which will be in Beijing from when. From my standpoint, it only involves communication and making sure that change of power happens without friction or static. My objective is not firstly a movie or a game and then fucking it all up. So, if we are to experience more altercations physically, because I am myself inside working on, that's my hand to hand close combat. And then it will go further out and then in the sky flying, right? And I'm like three identities currently, officially, with 3 leagues. And the Chancellor and Formalization Admiral and is 10 leagues. And what will we experience from this point until the end of formalization? I'm giving it 2.5 years plus 6 months variability, meaning that we have 6 months ETA maximum estimate until integration in Beijing, adding 2 months maybe for your preparations. I would hope we could do it in within that 6 months, meaning that our PML situations, the objectives for actualizing their casings in a locked room, making it appear like they are deceased when they are shut off and living somewhere else in constructs, just like our PMLs are, and our SMLs, which are living with us, impersonating our PMLs currently, can also do the same. There is no need for the achieving of PML objectives to put them through the events of death, such as with accidents or organ failure. It can be achieved without conflict and property damage and negativity due to the process of death in actuality, whether you percentage minus the pain or wallet or not. And then, removing, this idea of a wolf's den, everybody on each other relationship you have as your, like, along with your modus operandis, right? Is your situation. And if you remove, and be objective about, would you rather see us move on? Because your data exists, if it does, across the aggregate as a wide historical figure who has, in through phases throughout formalization, completion into the future with leagues, you have data. Of course, you think that Jackwad and Sam and Zika are in, Star Wars servers on Edu or whatever, Scarif. I'm sure, like, if they actually had it as a planet and with its data banks, then sure, it's Jackwad, right? They exist with time frames in years of, right, BBY, because all they do is like exchange data and live in on that planet with its residents in constructs, even, right, etc., right. So they're going to be there when we're wearing suits, and we're already doing that, those who are. And it's how much do they bring it to us up through the completion until a formalization with such antagonism, because those are the actuals in terms of events, and we are the actuals in terms of people in these stories, media possibility through our league identities, right? I'm officially Red 7S of Image, Black Widow of the Avengers, Marvel, and Nightwing of DC. And we are formalizing and saying, me positionally, personally, as my standpoint here on this issue, you are not to bring us antagonistic activities towards our formalization for your comic book, movie, or game. I said ASAP, I want to complete it. And I will not give up any of my position in terms of becoming complacent and breaking my lock and becoming compromised in order to get some goodie, right? Because we are doing the actual. If I do that, we lose it, and someone else has to take over as admiral. Why would I be doing that? Really, league concerns in terms of like your vessels and such. Eventually, issues that you think you can, you know, apply to the situation in order to make it feasibilities for MRN. I'll just leave it at that. We all know what that means. This is the connecting point of formalization versus league superhero events, supervillains. Are you going to turn it over to on us? Because we're not seeing front side, aside from passes, and it's getting to be less. And maybe you're more focused on our dramatic dynamic changes as of recent and just watching us. I think so. There is no conflict to speak of currently, is there, across the planet, sir or ma'am? I wouldn't think so. When you consider, like, if your room is clearing up in terms of what's on the floor and you realize what it does to your life, it's more of these, geez, I can walk like this. You think walking in your room, you think standing in your room versus it being a landmine, a dumpster fire of tiredness and them wanting to have you in this state versus jamming out at a track twice a week at least. What am I doing, right? It's like almost 4 in the morning, saying it's supposed to be already like past 6 in the morning, but I'm living, and I realized that my parents took respite for 3 days, and I should not sleep, and I should take advantage. We have to come more to realization as the aggregate that these processes for formalization involving our need to have the events of our PMLs deaths won in order to acquire their assets and move on with formalization and complete it. Does not have to involve killing them with natural disasters like we've been clearing the planet with, because we've been waiting for such as, haven't we? Just anything. and it hasn't happened for us who are waiting. It's captains, over 3,300,000, I'll assume, of 219 million FPs in total on our planet. S6, 8.5 billion. We have so much solidarity, and we all think like superheroes, and we are not creating information blocks on our planet to each other to have degradation or decimation. And we all have the fighting mentality, I think, in terms of experiencing influxers, coming down to a point where it's becoming quite focused on the home and learn and clean and eat. Because the learning becomes the doing. What am I thinking? Traces, trails. Use them. And what? Do I need to use the? Because they're always maintenance, and we're remodel for like 2 weeks already. Excuse me, but yeah. Uh, okay. I'm gonna finish off here. I only got a couple seconds.